Something deeply unsettling was hiding behind one of TikTok's most viral father-daughter duos. To most viewers, the daddy-daughter dream team looked like a harmless pair making dance videos. But the longer people watched, the more they realized something was wrong, very wrong. At first, it was subtle. Their dances were strangely intimate. The body language didn't feel like a typical father and daughter, and Patrick, the father, always seemed a bit too comfortable, too close, too familiar. People commented, confused and uncomfortable, but instead of easing the concern, Sarah, the daughter, fired back with hostility. She insisted everyone was creepy for questioning them, repeatedly reminding viewers that she was an adult and could do whatever she wanted. Patrick echoed the same anger, saying viewers were stupid for even suggesting anything inappropriate. But the moment that changed everything wasn't a dance, it was a ring. Patrick filmed himself giving Sarah a purity ring, not a small band, not a harmless symbol, but a diamond ring delivered on one knee, with a speech that looked exactly like a proposal. The internet paused. This wasn't fatherly. This wasn't normal. It was deeply uncomfortable. As backlash grew, Sarah's mother appeared in a video to defend the family, but something was off. The tone felt unnatural, almost rehearsed, as if she was reading something she didn't believe. People suspected she had no control, no autonomy, and no idea what was truly happening around her. And the more the internet dug, the darker this story became. Sarah had been homeschooled for years. She lived with her family in an extended stay motel. She had almost no friends outside of her father. Her entire world existed inside those walls. Then came the discovery that changed the internet's perception of this family forever. Sarah uploaded a TikTok using a strange AI-generated song that didn't exist anywhere else. Curious viewers traced it to one account, a digital model named Ariella Brigman. What they found was disturbing. AI photos, suggestive content, and a digital persona that looked eerily similar to Sarah, and disturbingly similar to another young woman Patrick seemed obsessed with. Even worse, this AI persona followed an obscure fantasy book written by Patrick and Sarah, a book almost no one else even knew existed. It didn't take long for people to connect the dots. Ariella wasn't a coincidence. Ariella was Patrick. And then, just as suspicion reached its peak, the account vanished, deleted instantly, a pattern the family would repeat over and over. But investigators dug deeper, and what they uncovered was far beyond uncomfortable. Someone attempted to create an account on a writing website using Patrick's email. The site responded that the email was already registered. The profile tied to it contained some of the most disturbing stories anyone had ever found. Stories involving minors and family dynamics that aligned a little too closely with the allegations surrounding him. When confronted online, Patrick insisted he was being framed, that trolls were trying to ruin his family. But it was getting harder and harder to believe, because each attempt he made to clear his name only created more questions. Then came the interview. Patrick and Sarah joined another TikToker for a live conversation, and for the first time, the cracks in their story became impossible to ignore. Sarah admitted she never moved out like she claimed. She hadn't started a new job. Her new apartment was just another room in the same motel. Everything she told the internet about her independence was false. But the real collapse came when Patrick slipped. After denying the AI persona for months, he suddenly confessed, "Honestly, yeah, I created the Ariella account." The moment he said it, everything changed. His voice cracked, his demeanor shifted. Even he seemed terrified of what he'd just admitted. He tried to backtrack, claiming he wasn't the author of the disturbing stories connected to that account. But by then, the damage was done. The pattern was too clear, the connections were too strong, and the internet was no longer willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. Soon after the interview, both Patrick and Sarah disappeared. Their accounts vanished. Their content was wiped. And the dream team, the family they insisted was perfectly normal, went completely dark. But even after their disappearance, more disturbing details surfaced. a verified adult content account tied to Sarah was discovered and deleted immediately. Old claims from relatives resurfaced, accusing Patrick of isolating his family for years, and archived videos showed him making inappropriate jokes, comments that now seemed less like humor and more like warnings everyone missed. Through all of this, there's one reality that becomes painfully clear. Sarah is not the villain in this story. She is the victim. She grew up isolated, sheltered, and completely dependent on a father who controlled every aspect of her life, her education, her social world, her online presence, and even her perception of reality. To her, defending him wasn't a choice. It was survival. And Patrick, he wasn't misunderstood, he wasn't trolled. He wasn't wrongly accused. He was the one creating AI personas. He was the one running accounts that resembled the young women around him. He was the one tying his email to disturbing fiction online. He was the one scripting the narrative. He was the one shaping Sarah's world into something she couldn't escape. The Dream Team didn't fall apart because of haters. It collapsed because the truth eventually becomes too heavy to hide. And when that moment finally came, Patrick didn't defend himself. He vanished. All we can hope now is that Sarah eventually finds a life outside of the walls she grew up in, one where she's free to think, grow, and finally understand what was happening around her.